Welcome to Node 99, where we make Cisco networking simple, visual, and hands-on. Let's build networks the smart way.
Alright, welcome back everyone. This is Node 99 and today we're going to learn about VLANs, Virtual Local Area Network. If you've ever wondered how to separate traffic inside the same physical switch, or why companies use VLANs to organize their networks, this video is for you. So what exactly is a VLAN? VLAN stands for Virtual Local Area Network. It's a way to divide a single physical network into multiple logical networks, all using the same switch hardware. For example, imagine you have three departments: sales, HR, and engineering. Instead of connecting everyone into one big broadcast domain, you can create separate VLANs. Let's say VLAN 10 for sales, VLAN 20 for HR, and VLAN 30 for engineering. This improves security, organization, and performance because traffic from one VLAN doesn't mix with another unless we route it intentionally. Welcome back. Today we're going to configure VLANs on the Cisco switch. This is basic configuration. Okay, this is our setup. So we have 4 test machines. These are Linux test machines, and then we're going to connect them to the Cisco switch. So this is the interfaces they're going to connect to. So Ethernet 0/0, 0/1, 0/2, and 0/3. So we'll group them by 2. So 2 of them go to the same VLAN, VLAN 10, and then the other 2, red one, go to VLAN 20. So meaning to say Ethernet 0/0 and 0/1 will put them to VLAN 10, and Ethernet 0/2 and 0/3 will put them into VLAN 20, and then we manually or statically assign IP addresses on the Linux machines. So this is their grouping. For VLAN 10, we'll give them static IP address 172.10.0/24, and then VLAN 20 is 172.16.20.0. These IPs are manually configured on the machines. They are not configured in the Cisco switch because this is just acting as a layer 2. Okay, so first machine, which is VLAN 10, this is color blue, is 172.16.10.10, and the next one is 10.20. Same with VLAN 20 machines, the red one, 172.16.20.10 and 20.20. So after putting them into, these interfaces into their respective VLANs, these two machines, blue 1 and blue 2, should be able to ping each other. Same thing with VLAN 20. Red one, these two machines should be able to ping with each other. However, machine from VLAN 10, which is in blue, cannot ping machines in VLAN 20 and vice versa. So the red ones also cannot reach the blue ones, vice versa. Because this is just a layer 2, there is no gateway. So unless if we want to make inter-VLAN communication, or VLAN 10 reach VLAN 20 and vice versa, we need to configure the gateways. So it's either we need a layer 3 switch after this one, or the old one style, which is called the router on a stick. If you want, I can configure that. I will show that as an example also. Router on a stick is a very old style of setup and configuration for inter-VLAN communication. But for this one, we will use the layer 3 switch. It's like a core switch above this one, but that will happen after we configure the basic. Okay, and that's it. And let's go to the actual configuration. See you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We'll go now to the Cisco switch. Okay, right here we are in the Cisco switch console. I'm console into the Cisco switch. Okay, let's do some checking first. Okay. Okay, so before we create a VLAN, let's see the interfaces. First, to check basically the machines that are connected to it. Okay, using this command, check the status. Okay, so right now we have two desktop or test machines connected to the switch. One on the gigabit 001. This one is virtualized Linux box, both of them, so that it will be lightweight on the lab environment. Okay, so this is Alpine Linux box connecting to this one. The other one is Gigabit 01. It's also another Linux box. It's called Slux. It's a lightweight Linux box, but this one is have GUI or graphical user interface to demonstrate um, j- that for during which we will manually configure the IP address of this machine under VLAN 10 in graphical setting. So you can see it. However, this one, the Alpine, don't have graphical, so we will use a CLI commands to manually configure the interface to have manual IP address. Okay, we'll use both CLI and GUI. So this is our. Let's go back to our simple diagram. I made another simple diagram. Let's take a look. Okay. So this is the gigabit 00. Here, the Alpine is connected here via the Ethernet. So we will set this IP address 172.16.10.10 manually on Alpine via the CLI. And then the second one, G01/01, the other Linux machine, which is called as Lux Linux, we will configure it with this IP address 172.16.10.20 via GUI. And then we will configure VLAN 10 on the switch. And then after that, we will create VLAN 10 on the switch and assign these ports under VLAN 10. And after that, this Alpine should be able to ping Slacks and vice versa. So these IP addresses should be pingable to each other. Okay. So right now, initially the switch is out of the box. Actually, the switch from out of the box is can be used directly, plug and play. So if you have a machine, if you want to test your machine, you can directly plug it to the Cisco switch. And if you configure manually IP addresses on those machines that are connected to different ports of the switch, as long as they are in the same segment, same range, or same segment of the IP addressing, they're able to connect to one another because the switch out of the box is all of its interfaces are already configured in VLAN 1, so they are on the same VLAN. That's why it's plug and play out of the box. You can use it immediately upon power on because they are on VLAN 1. However, if we use it our switch on so that we can scale it more. So that's why we separate traffic from among the machines connected. So that's why we create VLAN so we can segregate one one machine or one group of machines from another. Okay, so let's check. Let's continue. Let's check the VLAN database with this command show VLAN brief or show VLAN. Okay, as you can see, there is no user-defined VLAN yet. VLAN 10 is not yet there. So these VLANs are Cisco default. They are hard coded. They're already there. Ship out of the box. Okay, so they have their own internal usage. Okay, so we cannot remove them or use them. They are reserved. Okay, so so at this moment we will create VLAN now. So this is how it is. This is the syntax, command syntax, and the arguments. Okay. First, let's go to configure mode. So command is configure terminal. Okay, so in Cisco, you can use if you not quite memorize or forgot the whole word of the command, you can just start typing some parts of the start of that word, and then you can use the tab to auto-complete it. So configure terminal like that. Use the tab to auto-complete. Okay, enter, and then this is the command VLAN, and then this is the command syntax VLAN, and then the argument for that is the number VLAN number. Okay, so says here is word, but the VLAN number, the range is 1 to this one. This is the range. You can only use the number within this range, except VLAN 1 because it is reserved internal VLAN. Okay, so you will use VLAN 10. Okay, and then enter, and then this one for share management, we will put some description. Okay, we name it so that we will know either it's what is it. So best practice is by department you put a name on it, like say engineering or sales, marketing, something like that. Okay, the command is name for that to put description, and then no space. So we'll either you can use dash or underscore. So in this case, I will use, for example, production. Okay, so we'll just use production 1. Let's say we can use dash 1, something like that. So VLAN 10 is in production 1. That's the name for issue management. Okay, so to verify that the VLAN is there, show VLAN brief. Okay. Okay, so you can see that the VLAN is here, VLAN 10, and then the name or the description production 1. Okay, here as you can see, all the ports belong to VLAN 1, which is the default that is shipped out of the box. Okay, so now we'll put these two. This is where Alpine is connected, and this one is where Slacks is. So we'll put these two into VLAN 10. So after you create the VLAN is there, but you need to assign it to interfaces. Okay, so let's go to go to the interface. First, we need to go to the configuration mode. This is what configure. Okay, this mode is to see that you see the prompt change to config from here. This is called the configuration mode. So from here you can do some higher level commands when you enter this one. So you need to be admin. Okay, so let's go to the interface mode after this one. So to enter interface mode, the command is interface.